Hey guys, this is Lala Legacy and welcome back to another episode of Symphonic Rain. So I am in a setup right now where I cannot have, whoopsie, my my mouse with me, so I gotta reload that because I accidentally pressed something. Oh, maybe I don't. Okay, never mind. Wait, yes I did. But yes, let's jump right back in. I had to restrain myself from getting angry for a moment. I saw Ari from my memories in this girl. Ari would also keep apologizing to the kind teacher in music class without ever listening to what he had to say. As a result, I no longer felt like leaving the room. The girl probably felt I was meddling. But if my words could change something in her, at the very least, I'd been able to change Arietta. It seemed a change of subject was necessary. I didn't want to go home yet. Not until she made it more clear she didn't want me here, at least. By the way, are you from the vocal department? I changed the subject to something less intimate. It was common etiquette to ask a fellow student you just met which department they were from. Huh? The girl seemed surprised at that. Did she find it strange that I changed the subject all of a sudden? Well, I just figured that was the case since your voice is so pretty. Am I wrong? No, I'm a freshman of the vocal department. I see. Since you're a freshman, was that some sort of training piece you sang? No, it wasn't. Some famous song? No. But it was a really nice song. I'm sure it was made by someone who loved to sing. Eh? You like that song, don't you? You seemed pretty into it just now. What was more, I couldn't see a score anywhere. It didn't seem like a terribly complex piece to learn from memory, but I praised it regardless. Anyone would be happy to hear their favorite song being praised. That was partly what I was going for. But even so, I genuinely felt it was a good song. Yes. The girl whose name I didn't even know finally seemed to have broken something akin to a smile. I'm Chris Verton. I'm a senior fortellist. If it's all right with you, can we play that song just now together sometime? I decided to ask her, as she seemed a bit more relaxed now. And in the back of my head, I considered that maybe, just maybe, this could end up becoming something more. Huh? She looked rooted to the floor with a surprised look on her face, and didn't answer for a while. Did I say something wrong? Oh, if you don't want to, then never mind. It was just a random idea. I tried to brush it off as being no big deal, but the girl once again muttered an apology, eyes cast to the floor. I'm sorry, I'm going home now. This time, she carried her bag properly closed under her arm as she ran past me. I felt disappointed at the thought of it ending here, so I called out to her one last time. Will you come here again? The girl stopped in her tracks and looked over her shoulder. No. I see. Sorry for bothering you. Lise. What? My name. Leaving only that, the girl left. Perhaps she just felt obligated to let me know her name after I had already given her mine. She didn't look that upset to me, and although she said she wouldn't come again, I felt it wouldn't hurt to stop by here once more. There was no guarantee I would meet her, and I might not even be welcome if I did. But I had the feeling that if I came back here, I would be able to see her again. I looked outside the window. It seemed as though the rain had calmed down. It was about time to go home. Recollecting the piece, as well as the sound of her voice that had remained in my ears, I idly began to trek home. Welcome home! You're pretty late today. Did you go practicing after all? Sort of. I dried my hair with the towel left at the front door and dropped my bag to the floor. I never touched my foretell in the end, but I did get to hear a good song in return, so I didn't quite think I wasted my time. Hey, what happened today? Something kind of peculiar happened. Something peculiar? What is it? After my usual interaction with Forney, the day came to an end. Okay, December 2nd. Practice and lunch. I spent my time until noon the same way I always did. As I began pondering what to do next, Torta spoke to me. It's already been a week, you know. Have you found someone yet? Well, more or less. That's a lie. We're going to search together today, and that's final. Is that coercion? Of course. You have no choice in the matter. Fine. Don't make that face. It's not like I'm mad at you or anything. Yeah, I know that. Then let's go. Okay. First, let's see. After exiting the cafeteria, I was led down a hallway lined with practice rooms. What did you plan on doing over here? Oh, I was just thinking of asking some acquaintances of mine. Asking them how? It seemed that she didn't hear me. Instead, she was peering through the small window of a door to one of the practice rooms. Oops, it was a stranger. Next. Hey. Let's see, what about here? Bingo. Hold on a sec. A faint sound had probably managed to go through as a male student soon emerged from the room. Huh, what's up, Tortanita? Hello, Although she was going at it pretty forcefully, the boy didn't seem to mind at all. In fact, he almost looked happy. So what's the matter? Well, about that. Torta looked back at me with a smile. I knew I had to speak up and introduce myself at this point. But I couldn't be bothered, and only nodded my head. Chris? Hello. Anyway. Sorry to bother you with this all of a sudden. No, I should be the one to apologize. Chris. Sorry. It was only natural that I would be rejected by that student, and I understood that my attitude accounted for more than half of it. I apologized to Torta before she had a chance to say anything. Was that on purpose? It wasn't. It wasn't difficult to imagine what that guy felt when I had failed to give a proper introduction, with the disinterested face to boot. Of course, I realized that the request was coming from my side. But I felt as if I didn't really want this at all, and I certainly didn't feel comfortable with it. Jeez. You're hopeless. You know that kind of attitude is the reason you barely have any friends, right? Yeah, I know. I wasn't going to deny it, of course. Even including Torta, the number of people whom I could confidently call my friends could be counted on one hand. I had never considered becoming more sociable. I wasn't particularly discontent with the way things were. We're going to see the next person. Be a little more courteous this time, okay? No, wait up. What's wrong? There are other ways to do this, aren't there? We can't just interrupt their rehearsals. But the previous person was perfectly willing to talk to us, wasn't he? If you hadn't made such a surly face, I'm sure he would have accepted, you know. Actually, I don't think he would have. I was pretty sure about that. Besides, even if more than half of the rejection could be attributed to my attitude, the remaining portion would entail that I, as a person, was simply not very likable. That fact wouldn't change no matter who we talked to. Students like me simply weren't meant to be in this institute. Most of the students here were ambitious, becoming successful was foremost in their minds. Nearly all instructors pushed their pupils to become professionals. Only two types of students fell outside this category. Those who had already completely derailed, and those who were so talented that they didn't have to worry about such things. The former were scorned, the latter were envied. I believed I belonged to the former, but people tended to categorize me into the latter only due to the special, magical talents of mine to play the fortale. If it were just that the majority of students envied me, that would have been fine. But there were a lot of students who admired me. However, I never paid any attention to them. That was why Miss Cordell and Torta often told me rumors that people find me obnoxious. So basically, I just didn't really belong here. People like me just weren't meant to fit in with this institute. I never once believed that this institute wasn't meant to fit with me. Oh well, I suppose we can't help it. Yeah, you got that right. Torta should have known these things better than anyone, so why was she doing this? But let's search a little more. You'll be in trouble if you don't have a candidate. Besides which, we have nothing to lose by searching a bit more. The answer should have been obvious. She was doing this for me. Fine. Okay, then give me a smile. Now you're asking for the impossible. You don't seem to be into this. I am. You guess, huh? Guess it was no good. Good work anyway. You're acting like it's not your problem again. Torta lifted her head from the cafeteria table and reached for her cup. Aw, she's cute. Guess it should be okay by now. I'd say it isn't. It's still hot. Huh? It's fine. Hot! See, I told you so, didn't I? Ugh. I'm getting hot just by looking at it. It's not that cold in here, you know. Well, I like it, so get off my case. You can't even handle hot stuff. Shut up! By then, it had probably cooled down just enough since Torta's smile returned as she brought the cup to her lips. Delicious. You've liked that since you were a kid, haven't you? Torta seemed to really enjoy drinking her cup of hot chocolate. Because that's all Cio Colada Calda really was. On second thought, you probably couldn't even really call it a beverage. Sure, you drank it at first, but in most cases you ended up spooning out the thickened residue and eating it. It's sweet and heavy on the stomach. I don't think I could ever drink a full cup. It's warm and sweet. It's the best. I suppose it is winter, but then again, it doesn't really get that cold here. With those words, I was strongly reminded of my faraway hometown, just as I was when I read Ari's letters. The country was split in two by mountains. We were born on the north side, and we're currently living in the south. The climate and temperature were a bit different, and even in the same winter, it could be quite gentle here. Well, I like it, so get off my case. She stirred the chocolate in her cup with a spoon, her delighted expression showing no sign of crumbling. Fine, just don't say it's hot anymore, okay? I don't say it too often. Okay, fine. It was good to end the topic in good humor. I spoke up again with the underlying intent of apologizing for today. Thanks for today. Oh, don't mention it. It was worth it just for this. Torta tilted her cup and happily took another sip. Are you sure it's enough? I'm glad it came cheap, though. Well, I like it. Besides, I didn't manage to find anyone for you in the end. I never really expected you to. That's mean. Are you saying my strategy sucked? That's not what I meant. Though in truth, it kind of was what I meant. But one thing puzzles me. Why did you only ask male students? It might have been a bit of an intrusive question, but I just couldn't suppress my curiosity. I figured one would normally focus on friends they could easily ask a favor of. If it's just that there are a lot of males among your close friends, then that's fine. I tried to sound frivolous, but if this really were the case, I wouldn't be too happy about it. Finishing with her hot chocolate, Torta placed the cup on the table and focused her attention on me. Why do you ask that? Because it bothered me. Another thing, the last boy she asked didn't even know her name, and some only realized who she was after she explained she was a fellow vocalist. Are you jealous? Sorta. You admit it. But that's only a third of the reason. That's an odd figure. Why not half? There's my jealousy as your childhood friend, and my concern as your friend. That's two. Oh wait, that's two. What's the third? Wasn't that last student someone you didn't even know? I guess. I think we had lectures together in our freshman year. His face just looked familiar to me. Could it be that you don't have any female friends? Huh? My severely impolite question didn't seem to register with Torta immediately. Apparently, it required some time for it to sink in. Of course I do. I'm not like... Yeah, you're not like me. I know that. Don't say that about yourself. You were about to say it to me, weren't you? You still shouldn't. Fine, fine. So, was there some reason you didn't ask them, or were they just not available today? Listen, I can't just team you up with a girl now, can I? Why not? The rumor. What you talked about the other day. I thought you didn't believe in it. Well, sure I don't. Then why? About 1/10 due to jealousy. That's not a lot. Jealousy is your childhood friend, mind you. And what about the rest? There are things you'd rather not do, even if you don't believe in them, right? I don't really think there are. You think? Okay, then let's see. Do you believe in God? Huh? Well, that came out of the blue. Just answer me. I don't. In the true sense of the word, I don't believe I do. But what about it? Nothing. But don't you agree that people almost never seem to do things like scribble on the walls of churches? I suppose so. On the same line of thinking, I'd rather you steer clear of the rumor even if I don't believe in it. It seemed a bit unreasonable to attribute that to 9/10 of the reason. And I wasn't even going to try to rationalize that far-fetched explanation just now. Well, I sort of see where you're coming from. Good. But God, huh? It's not like I completely don't believe in God. Yeah, same here. That's why we go to church to pray sometimes. Yep. You said before you just don't believe in the true sense of the word after all. If people can better their lives by shaping their morals according to some religious creed, then you could say that God definitely exists. Or I don't know. Maybe it doesn't exist. I don't know. I don't have a mouse for me to be able to scroll right now. What's that about? Did you get that out of a book or something? No, a certain someone told me. Yeah, sounds like something she'd say. As she pictured said person in her mind, Torta looked a bit downcast and whispered in a soft tone of voice. But, if God existed, if he existed... Never mind. I was just thinking how all the painful things of this world might disappear if he did. What brought that on all of a sudden? Well, don't you think so? I suppose I do, but that's not going to happen. I know. I just thought it would be nice. That's not like you. Not like me? Yeah, I suppose it's not. In an apparent change of mood, Torta stood up and picked up the empty cup. Well, let's go home. Yeah, let's. While the rain was no surprise, it seemed darker than usual outside. I'm home. Welcome back. You're late. Did something happen? I heard Forney reply from inside the room. Yeah, sort of. I threw my bag in the room and dried my hair with a towel left at the front door. Raining again? As usual. It never stops, huh? You got that right. We exchanged small talk as I faced the sky through the window. I dumped the towel into the laundry basket and finally entered the room. So, why are you so late? Torta was helping me find a partner. I see. So did you find anyone? It was hopeless. Our method of searching was kind of flawed. Method of searching? Torta just forced her way into every other practice room to ask if the person inside would partner with me. What? She forced herself in? She knocked on the soundproof doors, and if the people inside noticed, And if the people inside noticed, she barged in, just like that. And so that was Torta's strategy? Exactly. I take it you can imagine the result. Definitely, but I guess that's just like Torta. I suppose you could say that. While Torta was generally a level-headed individual, she seemed to be missing a few screws every so often. Although few and far between, Forney had met Torta a few times in the past. Although, of course, she had gained a more solid image of her due to me having talked about her a lot. But she did it for you! You have to be grateful for that. I am. But that is all the time that I have for this episode, guys. So if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already, subscribe. By subscribing, you're becoming part of a legacy. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!